Alright, welcome. This is MDog, and we are back for another short video here. Looking at targeting Ide here at Volkhov, and I wanted to talk a little bit just in general about targeting fish, especially when you come to a new lake or river. And one of the things I really suggest you do initially is go ahead and pull up the records and look at weeklies in particular, because things do change over time. So if you're trying to go for a specific type of fish, it's helpful to see what's working recently, right? So if you look at Ide, and this, again, I have it on all regions here, which is going to include Russia, Germany, you'll see a lot of tuna 16 and halibut 14. Oh, and this one is salmon 14. So you're seeing just a variety of things now show up. We still have the pea porridge, which has been the case for a while, that the Ide are liking the pea porridge. But that just kind of gives you a glimpse. But I also encourage you to break it down by region. This will be very similar to what we just saw, I imagine. Yes, it is. Although it looks like the salmon 14, see, this is even new information for me. The salmon 14 look like, and you see these were both caught today, look like they are suddenly jumping up there. So we may have to try salmon 14. I wasn't even planning on doing that, but we'll try that later today. And then we'll pull up Germany, see what these players have been doing. They're still, in the last few days, I've just noticed tuna 16 has been shooting up on the records list for Ide. And then if you look at our little region, the least active, I believe, in terms of total numbers, but you'll see some weird stuff here. Sura, there's a nice Ide caught on cricket. Tuna 16, so people have started to learn from the other regions and are catching other fish, and that you see pea porridge still up here. So that gives you a starting point tonight of, you know, where the bait and fish combos are headed in real time. Things do change over the days, over the weeks, and so right now it looks like that's kind of the case. And so what I want to do is show you kind of my setups of what I've been using to target Ide. Obviously, if you know this map at all, you'll see we're in the main dock here at Volkhov. And you look on the map, you can see we're right here. And we're going to be throwing just kind of straight out into this 3-meter hole. And that's really the goal right now. I will tell you, we're going to try kind of these spots over here. Pretty much full cast, aim close to the tip of the island over there. But all throughout this area, you can catch Ide and bream at times. So you can try different spots for sure. I can't remember the last time I did a bream video here at Volkhov, but I am planning on doing a pretty extensive bream video, just going over all of the hot spots that we found over the past few weeks. And what I will do sometimes is cycle through and just figure out kind of where the current hot spots for bream are. But right now, this is a good spot for Ide. So let's look at these rigs one at a time. This is our Bunison rig, and you'll see this is the common denominator amongst all of these rigs. Right now we're using this 9.7 pure fluorocarbon line. Now this line is expensive, and I've said this before, if you don't want to spend the amount of silver that this line costs, totally understandable. Just go down here and add a liter fluorocarbon 9.7. It's got the same diameter. For all I know, it may be exactly the same. I've been using this line, though, for a long time, fishing for bream and sometimes Ide. So for me, it's been good. I'm continuing to use it, but I think those cheaper leaders that give you the same diameter and load capacity for the fluorocarbon leaders are fine. We're using Ide mix, and on this rig, we are going to do the pea porridge. So let's just kind of throw these out here. And yesterday when we were fishing, we did catch a trophy Ide, which are always fun. Give you a little bit more of a fight than the bream do, which I like. Real quick before I throw it, I'll let you see this rig really quick. And of course my phone's blowing up as soon as I start making a video here. Same kind of thing, but on this one we're doing cottage cheese. So cottage cheese, I am finding, is during the day maybe the most active bait for Ide right now. So pea porridge at night, cottage cheese during the day is what I've noticed so far. Now, I'm still in the early stages of testing. You'll notice over here on the third rig, we've got a Model 1 feeder with a size 6 hook and these tuna 16 boilies. And you saw those on the list. So I started testing these out yesterday. and they have been slow bites, but based on what I'm seeing on the records list, it seems like you maybe are getting a little better chance of a larger eyed with some of the boilies. At least that's what it seems like. Or for some reason, people have just been using them a lot. So that's kind of where we are. Let's see if we get any bites here before we wrap this video up. Again, I wanted this to be a fairly quick video, but I wanted to give you some ideas on just current conditions of fishing for eyed here. I should have said this at the beginning. This is June 7th, 2018. I guess you would have seen that on the records list. So there's going to be a fish. Let's just see what the first fish we get here is, and then we'll go ahead and wrap this one up. Looks like this probably will be an eyed, but a smaller one. It still could be a marker. Man, the trophies are so fun to catch, as I mentioned, though. And doing these full casts with 9.7 line or leaders, you certainly will feel it. Those trophy fights are going to, you'll be earning it a little bit. But it is awfully fun. So let's get a quick view of this fish and make sure we didn't catch a bream. Every once in a while a bream will come in, especially on the pea porridge. And that might be what this is. This looks like a undersized bream to me. Maybe not too undersized, maybe 1.5, 1.6. Let's see what it is. 1.5. So here we are doing an eyed video, and first fish we catch is a bream. So let's give these just a minute more before we wrap the video up and see if we can actually catch an eyed for this eyed video. And even having the lines kind of at an angle like this, perpendicular to the cast, you'll still see smaller eyed get on here and not always set the line off. I think we've caught something on tuna here, so this is, oh no, maybe not. So it's either nibbling or not on there at all just yet. Couple of quick whoa, there we go. We will come back to the promotional comments here in a second. I'm so thankful this happened. You never know when you start recording a video like this if you're actually going to be able to catch something, and it looks like we've actually got something pretty decent here. So remember, the first two rigs I showed you have size 8 hooks, which those are my bream sizes, and so I've kind of just transitioned it over, targeting eyed with the same size. I feel like it's appropriate, but this one with the tuna boilies on there being a little bigger, I've just decided to go with a 6. We're trying to encourage that slightly bigger fish, right? And that looks like a pretty eyed. Definitely not a record setter, because we're we're not in the red. We would be if it was a big one, but a 1.9 eyed is very, very nice. So let's put these back in the water, and let me just kind of show you what you're looking at silver wise for a very average eyed, and that'll just give you an idea so you'll know. Of course, always check the cafe orders. There's some really manageable bream and cafe orders that come up sometimes. Oh, I love that Xander order. The Vemba is so fun. Targeting Vemba with 2 orders here would make a lot of sense, actually. But let's check this out. And sometimes Vemba will bite off the main dock, so we may have to do that. But let's look in the market here so I can show you. So a 1.5 kilogram bream is worth 2.45. A 1.9 kilogram eyed, 9.36. So if the eyed are biting with any regularity, they actually are a good way to earn silver. And it's a very pretty fish, a fun fish to catch. And when you catch that big one, you've got a good fight on your hands. So I think we'll wrap up the video here. I really just wanted to give you a snapshot, targeting a specific type of fish, how you go about thinking through that. And I've got some new baits to try based on what we saw on the records there. So we're gonna try some different baits out. I hope you'll come join me on Twitch at MDog Gaming. There's the self-promotion that I was gonna get around to. And also, if you do come, we've created this new chat. My Dogs is what it's called. So if you go in game and you click on this and select a channel, just put down here my DAWGS, and the channel will come up right here. We got 10 players in here right now, and you can see there's lots of chatting going on, and it's been fun. Like we've got some really quality people hanging out with us that are helping each other fish and being effective, and also just kind of offering entertainment. And I have really enjoyed our growing little community here. And we've also just been sending people free bait into the channel, so that's been a kind of a fun thing as well. Thank you for watching. As always, I hope you will, like I said, join me on Twitch if you want to see fishing for hours and hours some days. And also, please leave any comments or questions you have on this video. Thanks again, and I hope to see you again soon.